Unreal.
She's so multifaceted.
Unreal.
Stop.
We're here. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tayce.
And I'm Munroe Bergdorf, and you're watching Queerpiphany.
And today we are joined by the self-proclaimed dramatic blonde bisexual who just so happens to be a record-breaking, best-selling author.
And she's also an artist, an activist, and a social media superstar. And she's only 22.
Crazy. It's the divine Florence Given, everybody.
Now, Florence, before we get chatting, we do like to make our guests feel at home here in our extremely subtle, low-key and understated headquarters.
So, we've got you a tasty little cocktail. Help yourself, baby. It's on the house. Oh, gorgeous.
Wow.
Cheers.
Reunited never
Never
felt so
gets
Thank
good.
you. Oh, Pornstar Martini.
From a can.
Oh.
So enough chit chat. I want to get down to the nitty gritty, baby. Let's get down to business. It's time to tell us all about your Queerpiphany.
For me, it's always been Lady Gaga because when I was younger, growing up, I was super self-expressive and I would make like her little hair bows out of my hair, wear the cigarette sunglasses and stuff like that. And I would go to school and I would wear it on Mufti Day. So of course I got bullied.
I used to make all those glasses. I used to sell them on Facebook in like an album for like
Or
£10.
yeah. It was something about the way that Lady Gaga kept showing up in this ridiculously outlandish way every single time that gave me the strength to keep doing it too. To me, it's always been Gaga, and I think it was seeing a woman openly talk about being sexual and that not being, it wasn't even a problem. It was that she loved sex and she loved having sex with men and women. And that to me, it was just normal. And I thought that everyone else felt the same way because that's how I felt. It's always been these iconic, hot women who talk about their sexuality that have inspired me. Like Peaches was an enormous icon for me.
Oh, we love Peaches.
I love Peaches.
The
And
sex on the beach.
Baby, how old were you when you knew about the Teachers of Peaches?
15.
Ooh,
Yeah,
they was
I
about
think
the
it was
same.
15.
I was about the same age, I'd say.
Yeah, it was one of my gay friends, a gay guy, introduced me to Peaches and we made up this dance routine.
Can you please do the dance routine?
The pain away. I can't even remember it.
Pain
It was like-
away.
we used to do some like sliding and stuff. I just remembered the pink album art with her knickers. It's just so iconic. And I remember watching these videos of her like clubbing in Berlin with her boxers sticking out the top of her trousers with her like tight curly hair. And
Like
it's just
an
like, oh
inflatable
my
penis
God.
or something.
Yes, well, I saw her a couple years ago live and I filmed her on stage and stuff. And then when I got home, she messaged me saying, I want to give you a gift for like filming so many good shots. And then she sent me a necklace with her grill on the necklace. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, go on. Oh.
For so many of us, our icons help us through that formative
formative years.
experience of high school. So what was Florence giving? What was Florence Given
Given.
giving?
What was I giving in high school? I feel like that's where my queerness and my expression kind of dipped. It's where other people's perspectives came in.
Right.
So it was in primary school. I was doing all this stuff. The Lady Gaga.
In primary school?
In primary
Oh,
school.
wow.
I feel like there was less shame for me in primary
Yeah.
school. Then I was secondary school. It wasn't men that I was thinking about. It was the approval of other girls because I went to a girls' school as well. And then as I kind of got older, I discovered illustration. My art teacher introduced to me this illustration book just full of naked women. And I didn't know that you could draw women for your art GCSE. Everyone was drawing roses and Georgia O'Keeffe and all this kind of, eyes. Yeah, so I discovered this book and I was like, can I do this for my GCSE? And he was like, go for it. So I started drawing naked women and drawing them really abstract and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like that was when it was like coming back for me, all the expression. I feel like I had to come to London to be okay with coming out. And Munroe doesn't know this, but she was the first person I came out to when I moved to London.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember that cab ride.
Yeah, the cab.
It was a summer's night. It was lovely. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I feel privileged.
No, of course, because I felt safe with you and I felt comfortable with you. And it was so liberating just to be able to say it and for it to not even be this big deal because you're queer too.
It's not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal, but it shouldn't
Yeah.
be. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
That
of
means a lot
course.
to me. That it
Yeah.
meant a lot to you as well. So.
Well, that's why you're an icon, babe.
Oh, well. I try my hardest,
She tries her
Tayce.
best. That's why you're an icon. An icon. An icon. But speaking of icons, you know, going back to Peaches and Gaga, and you're talking about women thinking that they have to kind of conform sometimes.
Yes.
I think Peaches and Gaga, they were like the last people to do that. If anything, they were all about women empowerment, about the queer community. So how did that make you feel when you were younger?
It made me realise that it was possible to be so yourself that it wasn't a thing for me. I still don't get it now when people say, Floss, your work is so empowering to me. I can't believe you talk about that you like sex. And that's something you can say with your chest.
Yeah.
I didn't even think it was a thing because I had these women to look up to. I felt alive, I felt euphoric, I felt like this is who I want to be, it's the kind of person I want to be surrounded by. And I forget, because I'm surrounded by so many incredible queer people now, I forget that some people are straight.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I forget that straight people are a thing.
People are straight too.
Yeah.
Straight rights.
Straight rights.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what moving to London has done for me. But yeah, I feel like those two women made me feel like it's okay to own my body as well. With Peaches talking about sex and masturbation and all this kind of stuff, it made me feel like that it wasn't wrong and that it wasn't something I have to apologise for.
So important.
Yeah.
What were some of the contrasting narratives that were being pushed on young women at that time that were, you know, kind of the antithesis of Peaches and Gaga?
I could say it was other girls.
Right.
Yeah, other girls. I think we're the best enforcers of an agenda to each other because we don't see it coming. So I feel like when women hold so much shame about their sexuality, we're best at passing on that shame to each other than like listening to a man. Because
Right.
you could tell a man to bugger off, right?
Yeah.
You could say that, and you can see like you can't tell me what to do. But I think with other girls, it was more like oh, that's interesting that you slept with him on the first date. And it's kind of passive transference of shame that person doesn't let themselves do that, so you shouldn't either.
That's real though. I mean, men experience that as well, don't they?
Yes.
Which ends up being women's problems at the end of the
Everyone's
day.
just chatting with each other, aren't
Shame,
they?
shame and
Passing
pain.
the blame and the blame and the
is-
shame.
Shame's a killer.
It's like a
Literally
recycling.
is.
We're all
Yeah.
just recycling, especially in the queer community. It's like in any kind of community, it's like if I can't, you can't. Yeah.
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 Well, you've achieved so much in your short life, darling. Granny Bergdorf
Right,
here.
22, doing all this, big toe.
And it's so inspiring to see not just the work that you do, but the young people that you are inspiring in turn. So obviously looking up to Gaga from an early age, do you attribute her influence to your success today?
Massively. I think having someone to look up to that makes you feel like it's okay to also be so many different versions of yourself.
Yes.
And I think she has that, everyone chucks this word around, but multifacetedness. She had it all. She had everything. I think having someone to look up to that also didn't defend the rumors about them, like that she left her gender identity and about whether or not she was trans, so ambiguous.
Yeah.
Whenever it came up in interviews, I just always remember this iconic moment where she sat back in the chair and some guy's asking her, so do you have a
Purple hair.
penis? And she goes, would it be so terrible? And it was the best response that I'd ever seen because she didn't make it a thing. She didn't get defensive about it. It was
Yeah.
just, would it be so terrible?
Yeah.
As a trans person, I really appreciated that. Like
Yeah.
seeing someone not be disgusted by a rumor about their gender identity is so important. It's a good example as well how it's not just trans people that experience transphobia, it's anyone who doesn't, you know,
Sure.
fit
the
into
mold.
the narrow
Yeah.
mold of what society deems as woman.
Steamrolling on into the future, what are your hopes for the future of queer female representation, baby?
I would like to see more butch women,
Yes.
I think, because I've always had this thing of, oh, well, I can't possibly be queer because I'm femme, and to be a queer woman, you must be butch or masculine presenting. But actually, all of the representation of queer women in the media was extremely femme because it catered to what men wanted to see. I'd love to see more non-binary people in the media, just in like these day-to-day romantic roles that aren't overly sexualized, because there's a few programs where I see queer love between women and it's the most relatable thing ever. Just the way it's so different to dating men. I loved seeing these really accurate portrayals and that made me feel proud to be queer.
Oh, we really missed all
We
of
did,
that.
didn't we? Where were we?
We rewrote the
Right,
script.
we did. Florence, you're organising a big party all out in honour of you and your Queerpiphany. It can be as lavish as you want, no expense paid. I mean, Munroe's fitting the bill after all.
So off the top of your head, tell us where this party would be, who's on the guest list, and what kind of music you're playing.
It would be almost like Great Gatsby style entrance.
Gorgeous.
There's like a huge spiral staircase going up. Disco ball. Lots of palm trees. It's like a 70s dancing room. Everyone's dancing in there. Guests. It would have to be Lady Gaga, Peaches, Stevie Nicks, all the 70s girls as well, just all of them. People dancing to Northern Soul music. And it would be just the most iconic evening ever.
Florence, this has been an absolute dream. Thank you for telling us all about your Queerpiphany today, baby.
Thank you so much.
And to you lot at home, thank you for watching and take care of yourselves. And remember to always stay hydrated, and we'll see you soon.
To find out more about Gaga and Peaches, just use Google or YouTube, kids. It's not that hard.
If you or a loved one are a queer woman looking for support, please check out the LGBT Foundation Women's Programme and the Stonewall Charity. You can also find more resources offering help and support on an array of issues at the MTV UK website in the Charity Helpline section. Websites are on your screen right now.
And as for hitting like on this video and subscribing to MTV UK's YouTube channel, I'm sure I don't even need to ask you. Am I right?